You think you are ready. You think because you raised your children and paid your bills and showed up to work every single day for 35 years, you have earned whatever comes next. You think the hard part is behind you. Sweetheart, the hard part has not even started. I am 89 years old. I spent 35 years as an emergency room nurse in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have held the hands of people taking their last breath. I have seen more death than most people can imagine, and none of it prepared me for what happened to my own life after 60. I thought watching all that suffering had made me wise. It did not. It made me arrogant, and that arrogance cost me years I cannot get back. So if you are in your 50s or 60s thinking you have got it figured out, I need you to really hear what I am about to say. And if this reaches you in time, subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. Not for me, but because there are people out there making the same mistakes I made. And maybe if enough of us share this, one of them hears it before it is too late. I want to tell you about a Tuesday in October of 2017. The morning was cool. The kind of early fall morning in East Tennessee, where the air smells like damp leaves and chimney smoke from somebody down the road who lit their fireplace too early. Curtis had been up since 4:30, the way he always was, and the kitchen smelled like cinnamon because he put a little in the coffee grounds before brewing, something his mother taught him back in Maryville when he was just a boy. He was in his chair by the window reading the Knoxville News Sentinel with his glasses pushed down on his nose, and he looked up and said, "Viv, you want eggs? Or are you just doing toast again?" I said, "Just toast," and he shook his head like my breakfast choices were a personal disappointment. That was the last normal morning of my life. Curtis had a massive stroke that afternoon in the garage. By the time I found him on the concrete floor, his eyes were open, but he was not there. He lived 11 more days. Curtis Raymond Hoskins died on a Wednesday morning while I held his hand and told him about the cinnamon coffee I tried to make that morning. 54 years of marriage, and I was not ready to let him go. You are never ready. I learned 7 things the hard way, and I am sharing them because I do not have the luxury of waiting, and neither do you. Your body is not going to wait for you to pay attention to it. I was a nurse. I spent my career telling patients to exercise, to eat right. Then I went home and sat on the couch because I was exhausted from a 12-hour shift and figured I would take my own advice later. Later never came. At 62, I could work a full shift on my feet and run down a hallway for a code blue. I was strong in ways I did not appreciate because strength was just something I had, like breathing, like blinking. By 75, my knees ached every morning and stairs became something I had to think about. Then at 76, I fell. 2 in the morning, getting up to use the bathroom, and my legs just gave out. I lay on that cold tile floor for 4 hours. 4 hours listening to the phone ring in the living room, knowing nobody was coming because Curtis had been gone 2 years, and I lived alone, and I had told my daughter I was fine. I was not fine. I was on a bathroom floor with a fractured hip learning the lesson I should have learned at 60. Every muscle you build now is a month of independence later. Every walk you take today is a fall you might not have at 80. Move your body while it still listens to you. The people you love are not going to be here as long as you think. My best friend Nadine Faulkner and I met in 1971. Both young nurses at Fort Sanders, both terrified. She had this laugh that could fill an entire emergency room. We had 43 years of Saturdays at a little diner on Kingston Pike, same booth every time. Nadine was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2014. The last time I visited her, she looked at me and asked if I was her new nurse. 43 years of Saturdays, and she did not know my face. She died in 2018, 3 months after Curtis. I lost my husband and my best friend in the same year, and I had not made a single new close friend since my 40s. Make friends now. Make younger friends, older friends, any friends. The loneliness of outliving everyone who knew you when you were young is a kind of cold that never warms up. You need to have the conversation about death and money now while everyone can still sit at the table. When my mother was 87, she had a stroke that left her unable to speak. She lived 4 more years. 4 years of my sister and me fighting about what Mama would have wanted. We did not know because we never asked. I swore I would not do that to my children. I finally had that conversation with Patricia and Thomas when I was 74. I should have had it at 60. Your children do not want to think about you dying. Neither do you. But if you love them, give them the gift of knowing what you want before they have to guess in the worst moment of their lives. Retirement is not a reward. It is a test. I retired at 68. 35 years of purpose. And then, one Monday, there was nowhere to go. No patients, no charts, no one calling my name down a hallway. I thought I would garden and read. Instead, I sat in my kitchen and stared at the wall. For 3 months, I barely left the house. I had been Nurse Hoskins so long I did not know who Vivian was without the uniform. It took almost 2 years to find myself. I started volunteering at the free clinic on Magnolia Avenue. I started painting. I started having lunch with Patricia every Thursday just because. But those 2 years of emptiness were dark. If your job is who you are, start building something outside of work right now, because the day you retire, you need to be somebody. And if you have not figured out who that is, the silence will swallow you. I want to ask you something. Where are you watching this from today? Tell me in the comments. I spent my whole life in Tennessee, but I like knowing these words are reaching farther than my voice ever could. The good years with your spouse are fewer than you think. Curtis and I were married 54 years. The first 15 we were young and broke, and raising 2 kids on Whittle Springs Road. So tired we barely talked. The next 10 had us sleeping in separate rooms for almost a year in 1989. It was not until our 50s that we found each other again. Of the 25 years we had left, maybe 12 were truly healthy and active. 12 years. After all that struggle, we got 12 years of it being easy. Then his stroke. I would give everything for one more Tuesday morning with Curtis and his cinnamon coffee, and his disappointment in my toast. If the person you love is in the next room, go in there after this. Tell them something true. Take the trip. Say yes to the invitation. Dance in the kitchen even if your knees hurt. You are not promised 12 good years. You are promised right now, and that is all. Your adult children do not want your wisdom. They want your presence. I was used to assessing situations and telling people what to do. 35 years in an emergency room teaches you to take charge, to diagnose the problem and fix it fast. When Thomas went through his divorce, I told him exactly what he should do, step by step, like I was running a code on his marriage. When Patricia struggled with her youngest, I gave her a detailed plan. Every time I opened my mouth with advice, what they heard was, "I do not trust you." Thomas stopped calling for almost 3 years. It was Curtis who said, "Viv, they do not need you to fix them. They just need you to love them." He was right. I learned to say, "That sounds hard," instead of, "Here's what you should do." Slowly, Thomas came back. But I lost 3 years with my son because I could not tell the difference between being helpful and being controlling. The last 30 years go faster than you can believe. I blinked and I was 70. I blinked, and Curtis was dead. I blinked and I was 89, sitting in my daughter's living room with a photograph of my husband on the shelf, and a body that will not do what my mind tells it to, and memories that fade more each month. When you are young, every year feels like a whole country you are exploring for the first time. When you are old, the years blur together like highway signs you are passing too fast to read. Write things down. Write the recipe your grandmother made. Write what your children looked like when they were small. Your memory is a house with a leaky roof, and one day you will reach for something precious and it will not be there. I am 89 years old. Every fear I had in my 60s came true. Curtis died. Nadine forgot my name. My body betrayed me. I lost my independence. And I am still here. I am still me. I still laugh at my granddaughter Ellie's terrible jokes. I still look forward to Sunday dinners when the house is so loud I cannot hear myself think. And it is the most beautiful sound in the world. The things I feared did not destroy me. They changed me. They took pieces of me I will never get back. But they did not end me. And they will not end you either, if you face them instead of pretending they are not coming. I wish I could go back to that woman in her 60s, sit her down, pour her a cup of cinnamon coffee and say, "Vivian, listen to me. It goes fast. Your body, your friends, your husband, your independence, your memory, it all goes, and it does not ask permission. So stop waiting. Move your body. Call your friend. Have the hard conversation. Love the person next to you out loud while you can still say the words and they can still hear them. Because one day you are going to be 89, talking to a camera, hoping somebody hears you before they make the same mistakes. If any of this reached you, if even one sentence made you stop, then I did not waste my time. Subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me which lesson hit you hardest. I am not going anywhere yet. And as long as I am here, I am going to keep talking. Because when you have lived long enough to know what matters, you do not keep it to yourself.